trade talks are swarming around the Clippers again. But this time, this might be a trade the Clippers might want to pull back on. But let's go ahead and talk about it. You know, there's been a lot of trade talks swarming the Clippers, even from the offseason to now. They've had opportunities to get some players I thought they should have gotten that could have made them a way more formidable team than what they are now. And even though they're a few games above 500, they definitely could be in a lot better position by just making certain moves. I thought the one person I thought they should have picked up this offseason, Kyle Lowry, was the one I really wanted the most, wanted them to look at and look into the most, because I feel like he's the type of point guard you need to win a championship. He's not a Stephen Curry. He's not shooting a bunch of threes and all that stuff, but he can knock down big shots when called upon. And his basketball IQ has grown more fond over time in his career. Playing with Kawhi Leonard on Toronto that season has really made him grow as a point guard. And now he's a championship level point guard. He's won a championship and he's made big shots in the finals. And he's been to a place that nobody else on the Clippers, besides maybe a few players, have been, which is to an NBA Finals, and experience the winning factor of it. And to me, players like that are irreplaceable, and players like that are the ones you want to have on your team. But now, the Clippers didn't go after him. They didn't go after several players. It was Goran Dragic, Ben Simmons, of course. Well, maybe Ben Simmons was a little fraud. I don't know. That situation is kind of up and down. And a lot of fans don't even want Ben Simmons on their team. So that kind of goes both ways. And then I think the John Wall situation too, which I guess possibly still could happen, but not so far. And this is what I'm saying. Like, the Clippers have passed on some opportunities I thought that would have really made them a much better team, until Kawhi Leonard comes back and you add Kawhi Leonard to that nucleus of having, a team with more, star power on there. It can definitely make you more, susceptible to win a championship, possibly. Not saying the Clippers can't win one now, but it's going to be a lot harder for them to win one now because they got a bunch of young players who are developing, trying to get to a certain stage and plateau in their career where they can contribute on a team that's built to try to win now. And that's so much harder sometimes when you're playing teams who have more seasoned vets on there, more veteran players, and more wisdom on the team, rather than a team who has a lot of talent but has a lot of more young talent rather than veteran talent who know how to win and who know how to go through the motions of a season and go through the playoffs and progress as they're supposed to. So to me, when I saw this come across, when I was looking up the news and, looking at, swirling rumors around the NBA, I saw that the Clippers and the Knicks were looking in or are in trade talks, possibly. And I immediately thought, when I saw that, before I even opened up the site, I knew it was in regards to Kemba Walker. And I've said before on other videos, I'm not a Kemba Walker fan. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm not a Kemba Walker fan. And I would hate for the Clippers to make this trade. I really would. And I'm not saying they will. Maybe it's just all talk. Who knows? But if he goes to a team like Houston or something like that, and then whatever team he goes to and they just buy him out and the Clippers get Kemba Walker, I mean, I might be done with the Clippers. I'm just going to be honest. I might be done. Now, that's a joke. That's a joke. But what I'm saying is, mentally, in my mind, I might feel like I'm done with them, because he is just not the type of player that can help you win. He is not the type of player that's going to bring a difference to the team, that's going to make them a better team. I mean, Kemba Walker can't even keep a starting job with the New York Knicks. I mean, Tom Thibodeau took this guy out the rotation basically because he didn't like the way he plays. He didn't like his IQ, and he doesn't feel like he has winning in him. And he doesn't. He gets a lot of points. He can score. He's flashy. He got a decent handle, but that don't get you championships. That gets you a highlight on SportsCenter. And honestly, when you look at the Clippers and look at their leader, which is Kawhi Leonard can give a damn about what you do on SportsCenter. He can give a damn about that. He cares about holding up that trophy at the end of the season, in the finals, and being the last man standing. That's what he cares about. And that's what this team is pretty much almost built around. They're built around Kawhi Leonard's thought process and specifications. And if that's his specifications, then Kemba Walker is not the answer. And I really just don't think they need to look into him. And that could just be me, my opinion. Maybe your opinion is different. And I respect that if it is. I really do. But at the same time, I just don't think Kemba Walker is a high IQ basketball player. And to me, when you're trying to win championships, you need players with high IQ. You don't need players that just have straight up talent, because talent doesn't always win you championships. It's the veteran leadership. It's the high IQ. It's the understanding of knowing how to play situational basketball. When your back is against the wall, when you're down 10 points with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, can you muster up the energy and the thought process and make the high efficiency plays you need to make to put your team in position to make a comeback and possibly win? Can you do those things? When we think about that type of basketball, we think about Kawhi Leonard. We think about LeBron James. We think about, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. We think about those type players, who make those plays that has to be made when it's time. When you're down or when you're up in a game, you have to make certain plays that can keep things afloat, or you have to, make certain plays when you're down to stay around, to hover around, a certain number so you can make a comeback. So you do, like, if you're down 20 points in a game, you have to find ways to cut the lead down little by little, stay consistent, stay persistent, and take high quality shots. And this is what I'm saying. A player like Kemba Walker doesn't understand that. And I'm not saying he can't learn, even if he did come to a team like the Clippers, but the Clippers don't have time to babysit and hold nobody's hand to get them to be on the same page of what they need in regards to having basketball IQ. They already got enough young players on the bench that they're trying to do that with. They don't need a player who's a veteran in the NBA who needs to learn how to play basketball with a high basketball IQ like Kemba Walker, who's been in the league several years. They might as well just keep the young players they have and develop them and hope they turn into a Kemba Walker or better. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't really see the thought process there. It would really shock me if the Clippers even went that route with him, because he's just not a winning type player. And honestly, I hope it's just talks, and I hope they just keep it there. And matter of fact, I hope the Clippers don't even speak on it, because honestly, I don't think, it's the right move to make, or I don't think he would be a good fit really. And like I said, if he can't even keep a starting job with the New York Knicks, there's no way in hell he should be on a contending type team like the Clippers, who possibly win a championship and be a factor. It's no way. You see what I'm saying? And then, like I said, you got to look at it like this too. Understand one thing. If you're a Clippers fan, this whole operation is built around who? Kawhi Leonard. And if Kawhi Leonard doesn't approve of it, then I don't know why the hell the Clippers should even look that direction. Because I honestly don't think Kawhi Leonard's even waking up out the bed thinking about a damn Kemba Walker. Because he know that's the type of player he don't want to have. Because having Kemba Walker is probably almost similar to having a Westbrook. Even though Westbrook has more turnovers, but Westbrook is a highlight reel waiting to happen. He's a highlight machine. He can do a lot of amazing things. He can get to the basket, do some crazy dunk, stuff like that. Kemba can't dunk or anything, but Kemba's more of a highlight, crossover, handle, step back type player. That's what Russell Westbrook is to a degree. But I'm just saying, you might as well have a player like Russell Westbrook if you're going to have a player like Kemba Walker. I mean, because Kemba Walker is not even on Russell Westbrook's level. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to have a player that's going to bring you down, then you might as well have somebody at least with more of a name in the NBA to bring you down, rather than a player like this adding to a team that's trying to ascend. At least that's how I think. I mean, if I'm going to go down, I'm at least trying to get the best players in the NBA, the top 10 players. And if it don't work out, if it don't fit, it doesn't fit. But I'm just saying, going after a player like Kemba Walker, who can't even work in a system in New York where it's so very easy. They don't run no sets that's really hard. Everything they play is mediocre basketball. I think they should trade Derrick Rose, honestly, because he deserves much better. Julius Randle is trash. He always going to be trash. He's not a good player. He's never got winning intangibles. He doesn't have winning intangibles. And he's never going to be a champion in the NBA unless he's a third or fourth piece on a team where they're stacked with full of talent. And that's the only way he's probably ever going to win. Because if New York think they're going to win anything with him being the number one guy, they're going to be what they've been the last several years, which is trash. So my point is, if Kemba can't even flourish there's no way I don't think he could flourish in this system, because Ty Lue expects his guys to go out there and play a certain way. And Kemba can't play a certain way when it comes to winning, because he doesn't understand what winning is. He comes from the Charlotte Hornets. He was basically born in the Charlotte Hornet era, or should I say he was born in Charlotte, basically. So coming from the Hornets, he knows nothing about winning. Going to the Knicks, well, he knows nothing about winning. Even when he was on Boston, they just didn't win. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's just not a winner. So I don't really see the reason for the Clippers even looking that direction. I personally think, I mean, honestly, what I said last week in the last week video, they'd be better off going after somebody on the Pacers rather than going after Kemba Walker on the Knicks, honestly, because everybody on the Pacers that they possibly could trade for, I think it was Miles Turner, it was Sabonis, and it was Karis LeVert. Well, all three of those players, to me, I'll take over Kemba Walker. Some people might not say Karis LeVert is better than Kemba Walker, but I can argue that he is. I mean, honestly, he shoots a better percentage. He's a lot better scorer. He's more in control of his game. And honestly, if he really gets an opportunity to be on a team that can actually display his skills and his talent, he can really actually help a team win, because he has winning intangibles, even though he hasn't been in the league that long. But this is what I'm saying. Kemba's just not the answer. I hope the Clippers look elsewhere. I really hope this is just all talks. Like I said, keep what you have or find something better. Because honestly, if they don't go after John Wall, and I'm not even a big John Wall fan, but I'd rather the Clippers acquire John Wall than Kemba Walker any day of the week. It's not even close. I mean, I just don't think much of Kemba. I never did. I mean, shout out to him. He got drafted to the NBA, but honestly, no team in the NBA keeps him that long. The Charlotte Hornets kept him as long as they did because they couldn't get nobody else or lure nobody else in that stadium. They couldn't get nobody else down there to Charlotte, so he was all they had. And that's the only reason why they kept him as long as they did. But other than that, he's just really not the type of player that no team is really looking for. I mean, honestly, in a couple of years, if he doesn't change his game in a couple of years from now, I can see him in the G League. I mean, or the D League, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I can actually see him there, because it's like, if you can't make it on the New York Knicks, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, that's the Knicks are an average team at best. So if your gameplay is not good enough for their specifications, well, it's not good enough for a contending type team that's wanting to win a championship. So I think it's just a waste of time. But hey, that's my take on the situation. You leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know you think. You let me know if you think it's all talk, or do you think it should stay all talk, or you think they should try to pull the trigger on them. Let me know what you think, as always. And hey, Khaliis out.